So what's happening out there in YouTube land? My name's Doug Jenkins. I'm a professional audio engineer. I wanted to show you exactly what Atmos is doing. Now there's this plugin that I use is actually my main hub, I would say, for all my software because it's just already set up. If you want to check this plugin, it's actually by Audio Movers, and it is a binaural renderer for Apple Music. So what I'm going to do is show you what you can do with this. So I'm going to play Apple Music, and you can see how a 7.1 or a 9.1, it gets converted down. So you guys are going to be able to hear this today. And I'll mute my mic so you hear a little background noise. I get that. But I want to leave this totally untouched. So check this out. So what I'll do is I'll play it, and what I'll be able to do is show you the background of what's going on. So let's try. Hopefully I don't get flagged, but this is for learning purposes, so hopefully YouTube sees that, and it's to show you what's going on. So watch. This is pretty cool. So you can see the channels: left, right, center, low filter, left side, right side. I'm going to solo the center channel. So that's what's in Atmos. Back to everything. All right, so let's stop it here for learning purposes. So what you're seeing here in this binaural renderer is you're actually seeing how it is doing the processing into Apple Music. So a guy like me or yourself right now over the internet can hear that binaural mix, and you're not going to get the image like you do in a big, a big session. I mean, in a big room like a movie theater and so forth. But what's really cool about that, there's so many devices out now, and this is a service we're offering to people. It's to put your stuff in Atmos. Now you can notice there, a lot of the effects were done, and they do a lot of the effects and stuff like that in those back speakers. You could go through and actually just buy this plugin and really get to understand levels and understand how these things work. So hopefully I can do this without my system crashing. But the reason that I do this, and I'll talk to you as it's loading, this is set up for everything on the system. So we did a lot of, just like a lot of routing. So I could just say, okay, this is my playback. Once I open this plugin, I always have my stereo binaural. I can play back like that. Now, when I'm mastering an album, totally separate, totally different sound coming. But what's so cool about this is you're seeing me in my main room. The main room has Bauer and Wilkins speakers, and I can send that binaural mix to those speakers. So yeah, it's a cool setup. I don't know if Pro Tools is gonna launch, like I said, because it is. Keep your fingers crossed, man. My dog's itching back there. What's up, Miles? Where you going? And so yeah, so I'm gonna show you real quick when I open up a template. So you just get like a little capture of how this is working, and I'm gonna show you how I start a mix, and then the sky's the limit. But I'm gonna show you that real quick, how I import a mix into Pro Tools. And I wanted to show you Apple Music there because this plugin on screen that I keep pointing at, you're able to actually solo and mute and check out the levels. So it's a really cool plugin to own. Now, internally in Pro Tools, you can do that, but it is what it is. You're only going to get so far. I just like the simplicity that this offers on my whole system. So come on, let's load up here, Pro Tools. So I'm going to show you exactly. It's the same exact playback engine that I was just using. And I can actually show you why this is finishing. If you go to settings on this plugin, I'm using the Dolby Audio Bridge. It's a virtual output from Pro Tools, and then that passes through to the one that I created, which is an aggregate device on my Mac. I can talk to you about that. And then the render output, once it does all of its crunching, then it goes to pure 2 playback. The other thing I can show you, hopefully this camera's not messed up. I have the other camera. Okay, so that's our Atmos room that you see there on screen. Yeah, man, it's a cool room to mix in because it's really, really close to what I'd say consumer is. And then we come back to this room and we tweak from there. So this is how I started off in Pro Tools. If I have a session, I'll go in the new template. So I'll go to create from template. So this is the new Pro Tools. I think it's the latest one out. It's 2024 July, late July. So if you're watching this video, you know, a ways from now, it may change. So I'll just start from the template Dolby Atmos internal renderer. Let's put in The Struggle, because that's a song I actually got to do here coming up. And then what I'm going to do is go to, usually I'll find the songs. So these are all songs that I've mixed or worked on. So I'm going to find, and I have to, I'm just going to call this The Struggle Atmos. So I create a whole new folder. Inside the folder with all this gentleman's songs, hit create, and what it's going to do is create the whole entire template with all the objects and all the stuff that Atmos uses. So once it loads, you're going to see this. You have renderer out. You have your Dolby Atmos renderer at monitoring 7.1.4. The reason I have this is because our room over there. So you have the room over there that we can monitor. Now if you're just using headphones or something, you're going to go to binaural. The way that I have this, like I was saying earlier in the video, I have this so I can do both at the same time without having to get into a lot of switching playback engines. So what I'll do is this, and I'll just do this temporarily. So I'll import the session data from the session that I'm going to now do in Atmos. Now, if I started a project, I can do them at the same time. But what I do is click on this. So you go to import session data, and then on your options, you're going to be able to put new track, stereo to bed or stereo to object. The stereo to bed means that it's just going to be placed left and right, front, left, and right. And then you have the ability to pan around your 7.1.4 with the sub, where the object is more of like you can float it anywhere. So, if you're going to be doing a lot of pan pots and stuff, the objects are awesome. But if you're just going to leave something stationary, you want to mess with that, the beds seem to work fine. So everything's going to get thrown to the renderer. So let's just do one track. Let me see here. I don't even know what to do. I don't even know what to, I don't want to use, I just want to use something where you can hear it, so that's why I'm thinking about this. Oh, you just do the kick. So I'm going to show you, I'm just going to bring it in as a new track. You hit OK, and it's going to import the kick from the stereo session, and I'll let you hear this. Now this kick drum was pulled from stem, so if you hear a lot of noise and stuff, or a lot of artifacts, we still got to get rid of them. So what I want to do here is this is where your options are. You go to 7.1.2 bed, and then you can also go to object here, and you can either set it to an object or the bed bus. So you can click on this. Now it's an object. So what you'll see here is in the pan, you'll see this object show up in the Atmos mixer as I push play. So as you're seeing here, we have an object. I can click on that panner once again, and then we can fix to see where we want this to go. It's a really cool thing. So let me go back to the bed. And once I have this open, I'm sorry, I closed this down. That's why we're not hearing it. So everything runs through that one plugin, and I think they did a great job with that. At first it was a little difficult, but I hope I simplified it for you guys. But yeah, you kick it here. So now we have a kick drum in the middle. let you hear it up here. Let's go to the back. Let's do something here real quick. Let me try to add something so you can hear. Let me add like a delay. Something to make it easier to hear. I was trying to find a stem that'd be easier. The kick drum's not a good stem. But let's add like just a verb for today. I mean, just to mess with it. Just put a lot of verb on it so you can hear it move. Okay. So as we move that, you can now hear that distant. Listen to it one more time. We're in the back of the speakers. Let me turn my mic off so you can really hear it. Now let me move it forward. So that's what Atmos is. It's really taking. So this was already done in a stereo mix. You can see some of the settings I put on it, like a transient designer, and it's an awesome way to mix. So I wanted to show this video. That's how I route mine. I just have the playback engine here. I'll show you. It's the Dolby Audio Bridge. I'll also make a note of this before I end this video. So really what I like to do is make it a virtual thing that works with everything in my system. So Logic's hooked to that, Final Cut's hooked to that. So I'm just like snapping through the things. I don't have to keep changing my playback. But also Pro Tools comes with its own audio bridge. But one of the problems I was having with it wasn't passing audio, and I was like, man, is the routing wrong? But let me show you this real quick. Like I said before the video ends, all you have to do to make sure that it lines up, if you're going to use this plugin, okay, if you're going to, and I'm not endorsing this company, I just thought that this plugin was really awesome to be able to monitor in the way that my studio works. But yeah, check this out. So you could go just to IO, and really, if you're not using that, you can set this as your main interface, and you don't have all the routing we got going on, so you could just set that as my main interface. But in this case, if you have a virtual output and you want to use that plugin, you literally just go to default format and then fit it to whatever your system is. In my case, it's a 7.1.4 system. And then I just hit default, and then Pro Tools automatically routes this. And all you have to do in this plugin is just line it up. So you'll see that to the side. Let me move this. But you can see that to the side. 1 through 12, 1 through 12. That's my setup. Right now this does 7.1.4. It's perfect for my setup. That routes to my discombobulated ADAT outs and all that stuff. And then that's my 7.1.4 setup that I created. I'll show you before we totally end the video. And that's my Digiface USB, which is really just an interface box. Let me open this up. Digiface RME. So really what this thing is, it's not that expensive. Let's go to old Sweetwater. Shout out Sweetwater. I like Z-Sounds too. It's a cool place because you can get monthly payments and stuff. But this thing's like $600. But what it does is it sends an ADAT signal, and I'll show you in another video, but I have a external HD rig with its own computer, literally taking all the inputs and then sending the outputs through its converters. It's a lot of outputs. I mean, so I wanted to leave my studio, the mastering studio, like how it was. But guys, I'm telling you this, and the reason I'm doing this video is it's not as hard as it looks, man. Once you get the basics down and once you start messing with this, man, you might find out that you're actually pretty good at it. I mean, using more pan and more this, it's not changing from stereo mixing. It is technically with movie mixing and things like that. You can get into some deep stuff, but yeah, it's the sky's the limit, and it seems like this is becoming the go-to format for today. So hopefully you guys get something out of this video, maybe pick up 1 or 2 tricks. But my name's Doug Jenkins. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for always supporting me, and we'll keep them coming, man. We're pumping the videos out now. We'll talk to you later. Let's do this, dude.